Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 5, 13.5, understanding WOOP model practically. Before entering into WOOP programming, you must thoroughly understand what is object and what is class. And thereafter, if you write programs, you can understand the underlying spirit of that and how they are reflecting the real world entities. For this purpose, first I am explaining it from a real world. Thereafter, I will explain through programming. Now you take a person. You know that in person, actually data like blood, water, oxygen. These are like data items. Whether you know biology or not, it's a simple thing. Blood and water are the main components in the human body. You can call them as data items. And there are certain functions. What are those functions? One is heart, other one is liver, third one is lungs, fourth one is kidneys. Liver, heart, lungs and kidneys. These are like functions. You need not know their functionality and all that. You know that each organ performs certain functions that is based on they take these items for processing. This everybody knows. Okay. Now you see how they work. They interact with each other. So if you call it as data and if you call it as functions and all that, it is obvious. For that you need not study biology at all. Here four components are there. They are working in a coordinated manner. How they can work in a coordinated manner? They are interacting with each other. What is the means? You don't bother. They are interacting with each other. Because of that reason, they are performing some complementary tasks. Each one is doing some subtasks, and these are complementary subtasks. And because of their working, the human system is working. Human system is functioning. That you know that. So, just if you understand this, you can understand WOOP programs also. That works in the similar fashion. These are the functions. They interact with each other in order to work in a coordinated manner. They use this data. Okay. I think you don't have any doubt in this. This is the real world entity. Our objects also are similar fashion. Now you see that. One simple example I give you. By that you can realize both are alike. Now we have taken a room object. Room object, actually what are the abstract data? Whenever somebody tells about room and all that, without any description, you can understand three features. What is that? Every room is having length. Every room is having breadth. Every room is having height. Okay. These are data items. These are why we call it abstract data items. I didn't describe anything. I am living in a room. I told you. You understood. Only just I am living in a room means you could understand that it is having length, it is having breadth, it is having height. But what are the particular details you do not know. But simply room means these three features strike your brain. Am I right or not? This is like a data. And let us take functionalities. Calculate floor area. This is one of the functions. Calculate four walls area. This is another function. Okay. Now these are encapsulated as a unit. If you see that, calculate floor area, which data is required? It requires this. Calculate four walls area, it requires all the three. Because this formula for calculating floor area is length and breadth. Calculating four walls area is 2 into height into length plus breadth. That's why it requires all the three, length, breadth and height. So now you compare this entity, programming entity, with real world entity, a person. Both are working similar. These things interact with each other in order to get result. So this is the model. One function can interact with other function in two ways. By passing the data items, that's what we call arguments, and by returning the values, they interact with each other, and ultimately the task of the program is performed. So these two examples, you compare a person and room. By that you can understand. However, one thing I am telling you, overnight you cannot master over OOP. First, if you understand the similarities, you can have a basic understanding over this. You may realize that it is reflecting the real world model. Thereafter, while performing programs and all that, actually your understanding over OOP is right. This is the way of learning and mastering OOP systems. Okay. Thereafter, now I take an example. This I am taking a class student. In the student class, actually I am preparing a marks report. For that purpose, actually 4 functions I am defining. What are those functions? And the first one is read marks. You know that what are the subtasks in performing or preparing a marks report? Reading marks, calculating total marks, calculating average marks or marks percentage, thereafter print report. There are 4 functions. Read marks, calculate total marks, this is another function, calculate average marks, this is another function, print marks report, this is one function. Now these are 4 functions like heart, liver, lungs, kidneys. Okay. Now how they interact with each other? Read marks function, read marks and put in a list. There are 5 papers. It put all the marks in that list. It reads whatever using input function. It reads and stores the values here. Okay. Then total marks function has to calculate total marks. Then what happens? It returns the list. By that, it takes the marks from the keyboard or by passing. Thereafter, it returns the list to the total marks. Then total marks function received the list of marks and prepared the total, and it returns what it returns. It returns total marks. It returns total marks. What it received? It received the list of marks, and in turn it calculates total and returns the total marks. Okay. Thereafter, average marks. Average marks function, what input it requires? It requires total marks as the input. It returned, it received it. Okay. Then actually in turn it calculates the average marks, and what it returns? It returns average marks. It returns average marks. Actually now all information is there. Now as far as print marks, this is concerned, what it requires? It requires all this information. This is required, this is required, this is required also. Everything it takes, ultimately It prints the mass report in a specific format. Now you see, just compare them with heart, lungs, liver and kidneys. So, some function, heart takes something, provide some service, it is utilized by other organ, it provides some service, it is utilized by some other organ. In this manner, they interact with each other. Because of that, a human system or a person is able to work. Here you see, these four functions are interacting with each other by passing values and returning values. Ultimately, whatever is the task of the program is performed. So, in this way, you understand the work system and how it is reflecting in the real life, real world entities.